And because we're more than teammates, right? That's my brother. And I'll always be my brother. And Chase was there for me through some hard times, right? Not just football stuff, but through some hard times. And me vice versa. And even if we don't talk all the time, you know, he's here to see what you guys are about. He's here to support me, right? That goes a long way to me. That shows me something. So that's what I'm talking about, you guys, with the relationships, right? They're so important, not just in football. I promise you, you have to work on your relationships so that your life can improve. When your life improves, everything else around you will improve. Like I said, guys, this is more than just about football. This is about making yourself the best person you can be. It takes good relationships. It takes working on these things. And then also, like I said, be there for people, right? This is not a one-way street. If you want support, if you expect support, you expect people to come out and come to your games and everything, what does that mean? You got to be out there for other people. You got to take people along the way and help them, show them tips when you're practicing, training. Go to your little sister's games. Those little things mean the world to those people, and you might not even know it. Show up for people, guys. Be there for people. And guys, like I said, work on these relationships. It will help you. It will help the other person. It goes a long way. Now, Brandy said this a little bit, but about a week ago, I just got done working out with Blue Creeks. I think it was probably like our 5th or 6th workout together. Right? A lot of you guys probably know he's just retired. He's a hell of a player, hell of a person. For me, it's an honor to be working with him. Like I said before, guys, remember I had 0 stars next to my name. 2 offers, NAIA and academic Division III scholarship when I started out. It's taken me incredible places. Like I can't even tell you the things that I've done. I wish I could show you it like a movie, but it's taken me so many incredible places because I've been able to do this through relationships, through networking, through hard work, and believing in myself. So you have to, like I said, don't half-ass anything. Even in your belief in yourself, don't half-ass it. Don't doubt yourself. 100% in on you too. And right now, like I said, guys, I'm all fighting for the same thing you guys are right now. I want to make it to out. And I've got real tough odds in front of me. Right? We all do. Doesn't matter how good you are, we're facing tough odds. But I'm fighting for it. Right? I don't care how hard it's going to be, I'm fighting for it. And you guys are fighting for it. And that's really important, right? And you have the right people fighting for you too. That goes a long way. You can't do anything alone. You want to try to get it too alone, you might make it close, and then you're going to fall up and say, where did I go wrong? With that opportunity, these opportunities that I get, right, that's kind of a funny story because the way that happened, when you work with Drew, it's like, I couldn't even make this up. I was running routes in Oceanside. You guys know California, it's close to San Diego. And just doing what I do, running routes, you know, working hard, looking good. And I was giving back. There was younger receivers there. There was guys out there that I thought I could help. I didn't know who was there. I was just doing everything the same way that I always do. Working hard, showing up, giving back. Because I was doing that, I got noticed by a trainer named Todd Durkin. He happened to be there. He had a son that his younger son plays high school football, right? So he was there. He noticed that I was doing it. He said, you know, hey, this kid's looking good, so check out what he's doing on the side. Look how he's taking the younger guys and trying to show them the way. That's what separated me. You know, I sat down, I met with him, I asked him what made me stand out. He said that was it. And teach him just a little bit about life, just a little bit about football. You have no idea the impact that can make on the rest of their life. It can go a long way. Now I started doing that because another older receiver when I was playing arena football started doing that with me. He saw potential in me. The guy was 10 years older than me, played in the NFL, had a Super Bowl ring, one of the best receivers out there, right? I don't even think I was on the roster on this team. This guy was coming over, he showed me potential first day, every day. Come over and say, hey Tim, you gotta work on your releases. Hey Tim, how about you use the waggle a little bit more? Hey Tim, break count, snap count a little bit harder. You didn't have to do that. He's a decorated veteran. I wasn't even on the roster. But he showed me how to do that, and I took that with me. The next point I want to hammer home, guys, is be responsible for your actions, okay? This is your dream, right? It's nobody else's right now. There's nobody else in the room. It's not your family's dream. It's not your girlfriend's dream. It's not their dream. It's not my dream. It's yours, right? This is your dream. So you have to be responsible for it. You have to. You have to make sure that your work matches your desires. You can sit here and daydream all day long. I don't want to play in the NFL. I want to play in the CFL. I want to be a superstar. How good is dreaming if you're not working for it? Are you going to get there just thinking about it all day? Are you going to work for it? Right? So when you go out there and practice, when you go in meetings, think about those things. Because that happens to me, like I said, I'm not perfect. Sometimes I'll be daydreaming in meetings and I have to catch myself. I'll be slipping up. I say, hey Tim, time to lock in. This is important to you, right? Do the important stuff. So in college, I wasn't always like this. Like I said, it's taken me a while. It's taken me a process. It's been highs, lows, ups, downs, everything in between. When I first got to college, like I said, I think I started off Division III. I started growing into myself, finding myself along the way, a late bloomer. And I didn't really know how to work. I had the talent, I had, the raw ability, but I didn't know anything about how to run routes. I didn't know how to read defensive coverages, alignment, position, any of those things. I didn't know any of it until I watched other guys work. Until I got to the University of Illinois, until I started seeing the seniors, people work. I'm like, okay, this is how it's done. Look at these guys have success. Why is that? Because they're working, right? So I had to figure out for myself, how do I work like these guys? So if you see somebody that you can emulate them, give them props, If you're love a player that you see in the NFL, or whatnot, even in here, try to emulate it. Go up to them, ask them for help. Say, hey, I like how you do this. How do you do that? Can I train with you? Can I work with you? I've already had a couple guys come up and say, hey, I want to come out to San Diego, work with you. Come through. Come through. I love working with people. I love people who want to work. So go out there and take advantage of those things, right? Last thing I want to say to you guys is find your motivation, right? I had a meeting probably about 4 or 5 months ago, and the question was why? Why, Tim? Why do you want to make it to the league so bad? Why? What is your why? What is your motivation? And it's hard for me to put it in words because it's more internally for me, but you have to ask yourself that question. Don't wait for somebody else to ask you that. Why do you want to make it? Is it for the bread? Is it for the girls, the cars, for the lifestyle, so you can have money for your family someday? None of those things are wrong, but find out what your why is. Ask yourself, be honest with yourself. Look yourself in the mirror and say, why do I want to make it so bad? What is it? What is it for me that I want to get out there and do that for? So find your why, right? And be driven by that purpose. Whatever your purpose is, I feel like it's my purpose to be doing this stuff. I'm still getting more comfortable along the way, and speaking and talking, but I'm becoming more comfortable with myself and my why. Why am I doing these things, right? So if you don't know what your why is yet, ask yourself. Take time with yourself. Have a serious conversation. And I know it goes through everybody's mind in here because I live this life. You are going to have days when you doubt yourself. You're going to have days when you're sore. You're going to have days when you're practicing out there. You're wondering, hey, is this for me? Is this for me? What am I doing here? You should go back to your why. Go back to your motivation. Go back to whatever keeps you going. And another thing, guys, you're going to fall down in life, in relationships, in job opportunities, whatever you do after football or even in football. You're going to, at some point, hit lows. You're going to fall down. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to have injuries. Things happen in life. They sure do, right? But if you go back to your why, you go back to your motivation, you'll find a reason to pick yourself back up. You'll find your reason inside. The last thing I want to say is be powerful in your pursuit. That goes back to don't have to say anything. Be powerful. Feel powerful. Right? When you walk into a room, command presence. When you're in the weight room, work there for a reason. When you're doing that, people will take notice. They will see you're driven. They'll see that you're working for something. They'll want to help you. 9 out of 10 times when I've gotten help, it's because people are watching me, knowing how bad I want something. They know what I'm going for, and I'm working for it. People like to see that. Agents like to see that. Coaches like to see that. Teammates like to see that. It can inspire them and help you. And trust me, guys, you need all the help you can get. Like I said, you guys can't do these things alone. Now, the last thing I want to say is be impactful and give back. It goes to my point earlier, right? Look out for people. Take community time, and don't do it just because it looks good for your agent or she asks you to. Brandy shouldn't have to ask you guys to go out and do some community service, right? That should be in your head already. Hey, I'm going to get my name out there, I'm going to help somebody, and we're going to do good for them and me. Right? Give back to the game. That's how it stays, and that's how they're going to remember your name. All right? Thank you, guys. You guys have any questions?
Now, Tim, you were out there with us yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Man, it's crazy because I remember you had your jersey on,
Yeah.
and I was asking you questions because it's my first time really like doing some of the things I'm doing here.
Yeah.
And last night, I know you said to me, you know, like just keep working through the motions, like.
Yeah.
But internally, I was kind of going through a lot in my head. But now hearing you speak again, I just want to thank you because you are very inspirational. I don't know about anyone else in here, and I really, you know, I love y'all brothers, but you've truly inspired me just now.
Appreciate it.
And, you know, I don't know if God's telling me to tell you this, but brother, you definitely belong in a room where you are talking to masses.
I appreciate that.
You know.
Thank you.
So thank you for your
Yeah. Anybody else? You guys can ask me questions. I'm a pretty personal guy. Go ahead.
He's got 45 minutes, so ask
No
all the
chance.
questions.
No chance.
What's up, man?
Are you playing ball?
I am playing. Some people ask me if I just came to talk. Like, no, I'm not here to talk. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I like talking. It's all right. But I'm here for the action. Let's talk. Anybody else? Anybody else got anything you want to add?
What facility do you train at?
Right now I'm in Fitness Quest, so that's what my trainer is, Todd Durkin. If anybody you guys are interested in working out, I would recommend, you know, you can try hitting him up or ask me to talk to him for you. Beautiful facility, great trainers there, very good environment, and that's one other thing I probably forgot to say, is be careful with the environments that you put yourself into, right? Don't just be working by yourself, don't be just, you know, going out and trying to do it all on your own. You have to put yourself in the environment to make yourself better. The one thing that I make sure I do is I'll find people who are way better than me. So I put myself next to them and say, hey, how do they work? What can I take from them? What can I learn from them? And I watch them every time. When I'm working out, I'm watching how they work out. I'm watching how many reps they're doing. When I watch them on the treadmill, I'm saying, hey, how do they do that? So I can use it for myself, right? So I would encourage that. Even if you don't have the money, you can find a way. Make it happen. If it's important to you, you will find a way to do it. Yeah?
So I went to work out
That was awesome. This guy, I can't say enough. A few of you guys asked me about him. Such an incredible person. I'm not just talking about the football player that Drew Brees is, I'm talking about the person that he is. The first time I got to work out with him, we were catching routes with probably about 30 other NFL players, right? I'm a free agent, I'm not a big name in my head. And we're out in the field and, you know, Drew's talking to us and everything. And he turns around, he goes, all right, Tim, I'm going to be throwing to you today. I was like, what? Are you kidding? Like, bro, that shook me inside. I didn't even know if he knew who I was. I was almost positive he didn't know who I was. I was amongst NFL top guys. And this man turned around and I was like, Tim, who? Like, what? So just little things like that, guys, you know, as a person, one of my favorite guys that I've ever met. Same thing with Tyler. One of my favorite people I've ever met. I'm not talking about just trainers, but they lead by example, right? I consider myself a pretty good person, but I'm not perfect, right? But when I was next to Drew, when I watch him talk, when I feel his energy in his heart, I say, hey, I need to get better as a person. I need to find a way to be more like Drew. I need to find a way to be more like Todd. I need to find a way to be more humble, right? Those guys are at the very top. No ego, none. Zero. They'll talk to you man to man, eye to eye, and say, hey, how do I carry that myself that way? So that's a great question. Love working with him. Hopefully I'll get to it in the future. I want to try to get him back in the game. I don't think it's going to happen. Anything else, guys? Yeah, what's that?
Who you had in your game at?
I like to say that I'm kind of like a hybrid, right? Jerry Rice is one of my favorite receivers to watch. I wouldn't say I panned my game out of him, but the same kind of a mix between George Kittle. Got a little Gronk in me. Sometimes they call me Baby Gronk. You know, I told the rock pretty hard. So, you know, I play receiver like a tight end, and I'm trying to learn. Some of the guys out here yesterday were showing me some of the first reps I was taking tight end. These guys were showing me. They came up to me and said, "Hey, I'm gonna try tight end today. I want to see how it goes. I've been working on footwork. I've been gaining a little weight." No hesitation from these guys. Jump on in. We'll go 2 reps, 2 reps, 2 reps. I love that. You could say, you know, hey, F you. You know, you don't play tight end. I'm taking these reps on here. This is, you know, my thing. No hesitation from them. I love seeing them. It's like, get in. They help me with the steps, the footwork, give me encouragement. Those are the kind of players that I like the most. Good question. Anything else, guys? What's up, man?
I was gonna ask you, when you had like dark days, like how did you get through that?
That's a really good question, because I'm sure you guys all go through this, right? I've seen probably 3 or 4 times in my career, in my life, where I felt like it was my new rock bottom. Mentally, physically sometimes. The hardest thing to crawl back from was spending days at a time feeling bad for myself. Racking my brain, hey, what do I do? How do I get out of this? Why is this happening to me? I'll go back to a memory I have playing in the IFL Colorado Crutch a couple years ago. Ran a slam route near the end zone. I was having a pretty good game, 5 catches I think going into it, about to score a touchdown. Chase was actually at that game, right? I'm running a slam route into the end zone. As soon as I get to the goal line, the DB looks at me, he knows he's not stopping. 6'4", 220 at the time, he's not stopping, right? What does he do? He takes his helmet straight into my knee. Right when I'm crossing the goal line, so my knee twists. Tore my meniscus, sprained my MCL. First time in my life I didn't feel like an athlete anymore. I got up, I wanted to finish, I was pissed off. Chase came all the way down to go and watch the game. I wanted to finish the game, but I couldn't. I was hurt, bad. The first time in my life I couldn't cut, I couldn't run. And it was hard for me, but I had good teammates, and I was trying to work myself back into the rotation. I didn't want to lose my job. This is a business, right? They don't care about your feelings too much, you know, these coaches, so I knew what could happen. And I didn't even get a chance to go see a doctor, but at the time, they called me into the office. They said, hey Tim, how are you feeling? I was like, I'm all right. They're like, can you play? I could barely run, but I didn't want to lose my job. I said, I'll play. Let's go. Like, you know, suit me up. I'll play. As soon as I said that, I said, okay, all right, Tim, well, we're going to release you and go in a different direction. Broke my heart. At the time, I think I was either first or second in receptions, first in touchdowns, yards after catch, 3 back-to-back games with touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Just finding myself getting going. And then the injury happens. And then 3 days later, 4 days later, I don't even have a chance to talk to the doctor, the team cuts me. The business is not always going to do the right thing by you, but you can still do the right thing. My quarterback in the room, I came back, I told him what happened. He left, he ran over, knocked on their door, screaming at them, you can't do this to Tim. Are you kidding? He's more of our best player. But it wasn't just about how good of a player it was, because I was, an expense to them at that point. So I got cut from the team, lost myself, saying, man, this is crazy. I was working my way back, I was going to the league, I felt it. And then I got hurt, and then I got cut. It didn't make sense to me. I said, I do the right thing, so why are the wrong things happening to me? It took me a long time to find out why. Why sometimes bad things happen to you is because you can learn from them, because you can grow. 3 months later, I rehabbed, signed a contract in the AFL, higher level. 3 months later, I was down on myself, I was hurting. It took me probably 3-4 weeks to rehab and start getting back into it, and then a couple months later, I signed a higher contract. Because I stuck myself out there, I put my game film together, I said, you know what, that's not holding me back. I'm good, I've been through this before, I got this. So that's what you have to tell yourself sometimes. Even if the wrong things happen to you, even if you go through hard times, find out how strong you are, right? And I'm not talking about physical, I'm not saying how much weight you can throw, find out how strong you are right here, okay? Then use that. Use that through the hard times. Find your why.
What is your why? What's your hero?
I'll start off with my hero, Walter Payton. I don't know if you guys know him yet. He's played with the Bears. I didn't even get a chance to watch him a lot when I was growing up. My favorite player, hands down, ever. Favorite athlete, ever. I would watch highlights of him as a kid. I used to play running back, we're 34. He had tall-ass, lanky, weird running back, but I was still, like trying to be like Walter Payton. Because that man carried himself so humbly, they call him sweetness. Right? If you ever watch him play, you wouldn't say sweetness. He would wreck people, run people over, stiff arm, forearm people to the ground. This man was bad. But off the field, so humble, so kind, soft-spoken. When I watched interviews, it felt like you were in the same room with him. Right? So I always try to carry myself like Walter did. Right? I could be the badass player, I could be the best player on the field, but I'm not going to carry myself like that all the time. I'm going to treat people the way I want to be treated. I'm going to be soft-spoken. I'm going to show them love. So Walter was my inspiration. Always will be. I love that man. He had such an impact on people, it will forever be in my mind. And that's kind of what my why is, right? I have a hunger inside. I have this desire so bad to prove myself, not to prove anybody else wrong, not to prove anybody else right, to prove myself. Right? I know what I can do better than anybody else. I've been through every practice with myself. I've been through every game with myself. I've been through every catch, every drill, all the hours I spend out there sometimes by my damn self. I'm there. Right? So how am I going to let somebody else tell me how good I can be? I know. Right? So that's my why. I want to be the top me. Player-wise, professional-wise, person-wise. I'm going for my topness, and I'm still finding it. I'm still working on it, guys. It takes time. It takes time helping people. Right? Like I said, you guys can't do this alone. Reach out for help.
What's your favorite charity you've worked for? Have you ever run an event by yourself for younger kids?
Usually I get involved with other players. Like, it's always better, I would say, to work with a group of players. I know for the University of Illinois, we did a ton of work with kids, like the Fighting Illini. I'm trying to think, I think it was called Service Over Self, something like that. That's personally my favorite, because when I'm working with kids, well, you guys will see their energy. Their energy is crazy. When you're with kids and how much they love football and they look up to you guys, doesn't matter what rank you are, what player you are. You watch 10-year-olds come in here, they will look at you like heroes. That should do something for you, right? That does for me when I'm working with kids. So that's a great way to make not only their life better, but it'll make your life better too. Give back to them. Find ways to do it too. Guys, Google's your friend. You want an opportunity to do something, just Google, just look at it. Another thing I'm passionate about, I don't like seeing homeless people. I don't like seeing people go out on the streets hungry. It kind of hurts me. So every once in a while, I'll go out, I'll try to buy blankets for them, I'll try to feed them when I can. And I'm not over the top, I don't got a ton of bread to go do this stuff, but I do what I can. And I do it when I can. And that helps me become a better person. But yeah. Good?
What's your meal plan look like?
My meal plan, I get that question a lot of times. I mean, I don't have anything, kind of surprisingly, like, he's super strict, right? I go about 80-20%. I always call him my 80-20 guy. 80% of the week, I'll eat pretty dang healthy. I cook myself my own meals, vegetables, chicken, steak, rice, fish. And then 20% of the time, I'm like, let's have some pizza. Let's have some ice cream. Because you got to have some fun in life, right? You can't be 100% because then you're going to run yourself into the ground. You try to eat all healthy. You try to do everything at 100%. With food and stuff, it's going to take a tax on you. You got to have a little bit of fun. You got to go out with your friends sometimes, grab some pizza. You got to go out, have some popcorn, go to the movies. You guys can still be people, right? You're football players, but you can still be people. Just make sure you find a balance to that. I usually do about 80-20 in life too. Like 80% of the time I'm working for football, I'm working on my goals. But 20% of the time I like to, go out with my friends. I like to spend time with my family. I call my mom and my dad every single day. Every single day, I don't go a day without talking to my parents. Right? They're so important to me. I want to check in on them. I want to make sure they're good because I believe they did a good job raising me and I want to get back to them. So, like I said before, your relationships are very important to you guys. Even if you don't have family, guys, I would encourage you, make family here. Right? It doesn't have to be blood. It doesn't have to be brothers. Like, you can make family even if they're not related to you, if that makes sense. Anything else? Good? All right. Thank you guys. I appreciate y'all.
Oh yeah.